Maybe it's the support feels like the carry in these games.
Bo3 will try to get out of the trouble.
There's 3 heroes nearby. Yeah, Static Storm mid, Thunderstruck is on him.
They might need to duel him.
And yeah, they might, because if he gets Nature's Attendance off, he'll start to heal up. But it's only level 1, so Illuminate will hit.
Okay, they body blocked him. It's okay. 4 heroes for Bo3. He gets a return kill. 70 finally getting that Spirit Vessel charge. So that's going to help out against Nature's Prophet, against Leshrac Stone as well. Same goes for Red King. So Nate did pick up his one dagger. So will be a bit more maneuverable. Into the road pit he goes.
So bad. Yeah, they might. Just a second ago. And now you're like, oh, so. Alright, he's got a dagger too.
Sure. 4 heroes for Bo3. He gets a return. XXS also. 70 finally 4 minutes ago. Getting that tag at the center. Now it's Maelstrom, middle hammer. On top of that. Very getting the most out of the map. Blue is his to get most out of the map with the dream skip. Oh, he gets out by all the
immediately hit him, so he's got
where's the hook shot? They need a
They see him, he blinks. Anything?
Maybe the play there was picking up a hook shot. Here he comes and he'll get the kill on CZQ. Maybe C2 like DP to the queue. Blue is his see this often. Esports athletes getting stunned by Ogre Bruiser.
That kind of takes a long time too. It's just this long.
Because he went for the courier. That's why.
WY still farming up. Not a lot of mana to work with at the moment, but he does have an Aegis. So going for this kill is kind of risky. He might just turn on you on the second life and
he hits him with the arrow.
Blue beyond your. We have not seen a Doom yet.
Ability or the hero?
Both.
We've seen him a couple of times in the laning stage. He does have his things, right? You know, Blink Deck, BKB, doesn't have War Stun. Does have Hurricane. Maybe that saving tool against Clockwork, I guess. But I would still prefer if that's a War Stun, just to have a little bit more control.
So I will say they at least quickly got the Aegis out of the hands of Aster. Couldn't follow it up with another kill though, and now Aster are the ones on the search, but they're on the opposite side of the map from where YBB are. For XXS. Just about as that BKB.
Oh, where's the follow-up? They need glimpse.
Oh, the TP. All right, that's going to be TP coming through as well. So the hook shots. Next BY is going to be nearby. Spectrum down on Shrek. Trying to fight here, and Hurricanes himself out of the cogs have got a good stun. Look at the infinite shot is going to hurt. The land the stun on Avian. And the TP out.
That was way too deep. Doom getting in, getting that ulti off on Leshrac, but not close enough for Disruptor to get the glimpse off. Bing also used full step on the trying to push him slightly forward. It was still not enough.
Now they've got Monkey getting the shard, which means he's much more free to throw stuns at, use his mana, and not be so reliant on a wand having enough charges for him to respawn.
Don't care about getting his mana burned anymore. Cliff, so it was buffed in the previous patch. Extra targets from 4 to 5. It's still not enough to deal with all these summons, treants, skeletons, creeps that interest stakes. They're not done.
I don't really know what they do to Monet here. Blinding Light, infinite shots on a teammate. They get the first life out of his hands. They get both lives out of his hands. That infinite shot takes out this Mirana. He needs to just so much damage. And while they're losing the mid-center axe, they are just having Lou farm bottom and get a tier 1 tower. But trade-wise, I don't know if that's the greatest.
You see the power of this Keeper of the Light using Bind, Spirit Vessel Charm into Illuminate. Cuts it down to half HP. Monet decides to switch things around. I don't think he feels too comfortable playing without a BKB because they can still burst him. If he had it all available, sure, he can go in, soak up some of the damage. Lou trying to get most of the map, split pushing for the last, like classic anti-mage game. Still open there, waiting for him to come online. He never does, has bad internet connection.
my carry at that internet. 1,000 ping. So decided to buy a few different rapiers and then feed them away. We won. So, top lane, 5BB. They defend this tier 2 tower. It doesn't look likely. I feel like Blue just wants to continue to farm.
They're trying to bring down
And going up against Cybot, like, and all these skeleton treants and everything, like, this tower just melts.
Tower won't last long.
Die so quickly. Deso. Let's see if they can get Blue. Wrath of Nature.
They want to catch him on the root.
Does have Manta Style now available, so it's going to be a bit more difficult.
Dyer's
If
middle
Aster wants to
tower
play
is
this
drowning.
super safe, they can wait for the next Roshan to respawn. As you said, they did take off Aegis pretty quickly.
And they're up 10,000. Now they've got Ags on Coddle, but I think Aster are just in a good spot to potentially finish the game when Wraith King's got his ult back.
They could go for another push, maybe take a tower. They don't necessarily need heavily
Force the
commit.
edge, yeah.
The only big ability you need to care about is getting that glimpse once you die first time. And Monet switches his item build. He's like, yeah, AC is great. It's a greedy one, but I also want to have something to protect myself with. So to get a BKB, which is a much safer choice. Luke on a split push mission.
He's got Mirana behind him. Moonlight Shadow will blink up towards the jungle. He's gonna tier 2. That seems risky. Now, especially seeing XWY, but Lou, Moonlight Shadow, go triangle to farm, and he'll find himself XXS. Right clicks, but he's gonna eventually need to get out of here. Hook shot out of the root. This is problematic. The last stun and Fire Blast. So, really well done by Aster to manipulate his movements, right? And, if he's blinking back, we know we've got hook shot, then we've got follow-up stuns.
But now ZZQ in trouble. By in trouble, I mean very dead. This is solo kill. It was only Sprout from XXS didn't deal any damage.
Yeah, he didn't want to help.
He's online. Hurricane Pike gun. He's almost, almost as far as Keeper of the Light that has been played from the mid lane. Boboka, this is how he plays. Very active early on, then he tends to take the lane for himself, gets the farm, just enjoys right-clicking with his hero.
Still want Sprink.
We might get it this time.
Get the eggs. Please. So many impetus shots. So much potential.
Boom! There it goes.
That Pike, 1,200 gold. Ooh, he is armed. You can see the comparison between him and Mirana. Obviously, Mirana has Arrow to farm with, but only 4-step failed at the moment. Disruptor is the one who's really kind of sucked this game. ZZQ only 4K on that net worth. Not really a game where he's gonna, especially without the Philly Stone, get nags, or a situation where he can't grab something like that.
Needs 20 minutes without a Philosopher's Stone for him to maybe get that axe going, but so far it's been only pain for him. 0, 8, and 2. We haven't seen, I think I've seen one Static Storm, maybe 2 being used.
In a rough game for both him and Beyond on the Doom. They are top. They don't have XWY, so they just don't have the dive-out getting damage, but the push in onto the tier 3 tower yet, and the XXS could be there in a moment.
Radiant's top tower
See if they really want to push. So just pushing the creeps in and back.
70. Big waves coming to him. Also trying to amplify some of the damage that Veil you mentioned from Mirana. Plus Solar Bind. Illuminates are gonna hurt.
I don't know if you caught that, but Ops pointed out the point booster.
Here it comes.
We might get it. A little Sprink action. I'm here for it. They're gonna give him the gem as well.
He feels pretty unkillable, and with that gem, casual cloak, having that level 10 talent, magic resistance is holding on to Q. Gonna get 2.2k HP at the moment. Roshan, I think he's with respawn, I believe it was.
And Enchantress, if you start with damage and enchant where you're just slowing down these heroes and throwing out impetus, it's yeah, you've got damage. Then all of a sudden you're growing and it's now I've got level 4 in the Nature's Attendants. I heal so crazily. I've also got Untouchable. with no break in your arsenal. How do you even deal with Enchantress holding a gem or making sure you can get the kill on both good at some point?
They know exactly where Anti-Mage is. He's got to get out. This time will not. They decided to give Aegis to Bo3, so he's got to be the one sieging. Decides to go for AC in the end. Level 18 now. The reincarnation. Level 3 down to 60 seconds. Plus also Shard was picked up by Leshrac from that Roche. So the way they're gonna siege, use Split Earth on top of Wraith King, and then he just right-clicks the tower.
Hook shot. That lands onto the Mirana.
Wukong's trapped him instead of pushing him back.
Yeah, and then he's able to leap away from the Wraith Fire Blast, so get distance. They look at bottom once again. Got XWY pushing in, both teams finding a Psychic Headband. Holding that.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Here they are. We go for the tier 3 tower. Has the ability to just farm, but I see it, and already first life, they blew him up. That was really quick.
Veil plus Soulbind.
Take the plunge.
Immediately disappears. I want to see how much damage.
Yeah, that was insane.
1500 damage Keeper of the Light and 1000 damage Doom.
And the arrow hits a creep this time. He's trying to throw these stuns to keep back and blinding light. Shot taken down. Stark Dormo. He's gonna lose the Aegis. Somehow managed to kill him quite well. Luffy is now taking the top tier 3.
ZZQ unfortunately did not have a kinetic field for another second and a half, 2 seconds. Lu did some decent damage, half damage done to tier 3 tower on the top lane, did not a bit, understanding that he needs to play this type of a game. Scotty is finished, going into Butterfly next. Maybe he decides to get a pressure before that, just to have a bit more control during the BKB. It's still potentially a comeback from YBB, even though it's 11. Like, this game could end relatively quickly, where they go in, they take one bad fight, Anti-Mage dies, they lock him down. I think Aster will not try to go for one more push before they get a pick off, or before Wraith King finishes off his BKB.
Go farming, and they want to go on to this Enchantress. Don't know what lies behind him, and he's already into the Nature's Attendants. He popped that preemptively and make sure if they jump, he just heals through it all. Talking about that bottom fight, though, when they took out a Wraith King, the second time around, Kyle did 2,200 damage. So it went from 1,500 to 22, and like, I'm not surprised with how far behind they are. It's just an instant kill on Monet.
And so quickly, he looked like Summon Skeleton rather than the King.
Oh, the ZZQ, and then Whirlwind. ZZQ's gonna die. On the clock for it to buy back, and while this is all going on, Blue's gonna take the top tier 3 tower. Jetpack over to the kinetic field, even though he looked smaller than him. They're gonna lose the racks they themselves, so Blue, he's working on it. They'll throw the Juma to XXS, and now he can't get out. They are gonna get a kill here on the Nature's Prophet, and they're also eventually gonna find themselves another one in Beach. Arrow lands, and that is going to be 2 heroes dead. Do end up losing half the racks, but so do Aster.
These are good trades for YBB. I don't mind it too much. They did, trade melee barracks for range ones, but they also lost the tier 3 tower on the top lane, which does open up things up for Lu, because he is going for that butterfly in the end, wants to be able to reduce damage from impetus shots, Nature's Prophet, Wraith King. It's probably the best item you can get at this point, because you're relatively tanky, holding on to Pupil's Gift, extra 300 HP from that. Scotty, all the stats. Now with the level 20 talent and blink cast range will increase his farm, and also will be much more difficult to kill.
I'm envisioning in doing it. I've had confidence in Lu in the past. Now he's got a double damage. You kill like 1 or 2 heroes, all of a sudden Lu, you might just take another set. Push out mid, you're not too careful. Butterfly, Soul.
Boboka drawing on a minimap, knows exactly where they are. Like, Morana and Ming also doing the same thing, showing exactly how they're gonna enter.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Scan hits. There's the butterfly. Can't seem to find. Lu is 0, 2, and 1.
Yeah, that 1 assist from the laning stage, 2 deaths, and that's about it. Classic anti-mage didn't really contribute much, but now all it takes is 1, maybe 2 bad fights, and 1 they're back into the game. You're gonna see that Team Aster slows down. I did mention BKB on Monet. They need to wait it out. Finally, he does have it. So let's see his next item. Well, into FKB to be able to pierce through that evasion.
So it'll be a while to get that Hex next for XWY. They want to have that bit of control and was the ability.
With me.
Catch the sheep. It's gonna be Silver Edge and Hex for XXS. So more.
The prize is mine.
If he manages to break Anti-Mage, he dies. He's just a normal hero then. Maybe with NKB. Oh, he finds Rana one more time.
Yeah, Luke kind of fortunate there because he was there a second earlier. If you had spotted him, they might have been able to get the kill onto the Anti-Mage. How quick they are with the hook shot and the split earth combo. Just continuing to farm the map. Now since top of the net work. This next Roche is going to be the third one. We'll see what it ends up giving once it spawns in potentially. We can see Ags or Refresher Shard. He thinks most beneficial for him.
I always do favor Ags because you have it throughout the whole game instead of just one charge of a BKB and another big ulti. Feels like much, much better.
Success, he wants to use this Shadow Blade to catch Lu. Getting there, but he cleans the creep wave too quickly.
As long as Lu has Manta style, he can get rid of this Platinum from X success on cooldown anyway at the moment. So you need to stun lock him with something with a hook shot. Lu already on the other side of the map.
Stun left a while back, and they're going to see Lu one flare on him. The rest of the team nearby, and well, Aster's on the other side of the map. They know where he is, but they can't get to him quickly enough. As that's going on, Octarine Core. So we've seen a big shift, right? Like Kato, the longest time, was kind of close to where Bobica was in terms of net worth. That's we shifted.
He did manage to get some really good farm.
And they're going to get a kill there on the TMing. They look for Beyond who comes from BKB. XXS is in with the Glaive that locks down this Coddle. They go to the Doom. It's on to XXS. Seal Totem misses. Still able to walk away from the fight. 70 dies. Blue maybe looking for a way to enter and help.
Well, eventually you're going to have to join the fight with Anti-Mage. You can't just go for this split push. And bottom lane, Catapult took care of the business while this was happening. Nature's Prophet using ulti, pushing out the wave. It's a 35-minute Catapult wave, so 2 Catapults. Now this game feels almost over because Keeper of the Light does not have buyback.
Pressure for another Doom shot.
Radiant.
Need to make something happen. Here they're going to go forward to look for XWY. Now finally Luke is involved and blows up XWY. They take out Pichu. Monet to try and stand his ground, but he's only got 1 life left, and it's a triple kill for Lu. XS TP's out, but Bobica holding this gem, who's got this Ags, and will try to output some damage here. Oh, Breath of Nature rooting them all up. Another sprint comes their way. Beyond. Will he survive? Bobica doesn't have mana. He doesn't have the health, and he'll die off as they lose 4 and they get both gems. Almost 9,000 damage from Lu in that fight.
Beautiful fight from Beyond. Provides that refresher. Gets a good jump and right in that track. Ags. That's a huge one. We're going to see that again. I think this is pretty safe Roshan for Team Aster. It's for YBB. It's not going to get contested. They immediately blow him up. And then he's with his friend bot BKB and that plan that we talked about. Doesn't care too much about it. Rocket. Out Roshan.
Do they try to... anything here? No, Ags is going to be picked up. There's the cheese and... Is he gonna just take the Sags himself?
Most likely, yeah, wants to be able to
I thought maybe you'd
have
give
the
it to the
blink fragment.
Disruptor.
That Disruptor's also nice, but your win condition here is Luke is holding on to Aegis at the moment, and now, for the first time in this game, YBB, they do have a gold lead, 3K gold lead for them. That's why we said, you know, this game could shift. All it takes is 1-2 good fights and Anti-Mage could take over. Still, you're playing, like this game could go pretty wild. You have Nature's Barracks, last set of Barracks against Nature's Prophet, so he can also go for the split push. It's not that level 25 yet.
Yeah, once he gets that 25.
Yes, you also do have Leshrac, who can edict. They could potentially suicide for the Barracks if necessary, but then you might lose the game. So.
Got to be holding buyback if you're going to be doing something like that, though.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you're just putting yourself in danger. And XXS actually isn't even really close to 25.
Come,
He's only level 21.
All 3 cores inside of Aster level 21 at the moment.
a gift from the tempest of battle.
Kind of surprising. Blue is level 24. He's about to be 25.
Things are going to get much more chaotic now that Anti-Mage does have that Aghanim Scepter.
Makes it so hard for them to enter fights, right? You could just drain their mana out.
Oh. Edge sword.
More damage for Lu.
Radiant are scanning
Like Shadow,
for enemies.
and let's see. They're gonna try and come over. They've got another gem on the Enchantress. That was bought by Pichu. He ships that over to Bobka, who feels like the most survivable at the moment. For XWY as the shift is on to try and make sure that you don't get tuned, and you can see XXS immediately. It's time to wrap. Not that easy. They have some great wave clear.
They do. Boost of Travel, Keeper of the Light, Octarine Core, Aghanim Scepter, Quickening Charm. So much CDR on him. And now, I think very close to level 20. So extra Spirit Form duration will make him pretty much permanent.
Really cooldown picked up for Lu on that level 5.
Brings it down to 20 seconds. Does have enough mana pool to actually use it. Your Manta Styles, your Blink Fragments, BKB, like even BKB costs mana.
25 to 9. But yeah,
Dire's middle tower
YBP
just got knocked down.
themselves a 6K net worth lead, and they do feel like they're in charge of the game at the moment with the Aegis on Lu. They have struggled to try and kill him. He was what, 0-2-1? Well, now he's 2-2-2.
Level 25 Anti-Mage, pretty, like, they do have 2 MKBs. Like, one is finished. Nature's Prophet is building one. I want to see, even Bobaka is queuing up one. He wants to be able to
Hell yeah,
use
I'm a
through that
core.
evasion.
I am the carry. God damn. This'll blade for Lu. Just being pretty tough for
Someone
Aster.
should help Dire's top barracks.
Sure. Who those creeps will make it. They've got the hex to land the stun. Monet moving in. Going by yourself, maybe not the right call. Is this gonna line up? Whoa! They got Lu with the BKB. The right clicks in on a Monet. And they're gonna take it as first, but he actually puts his attention on the XWY after hitting Monet low.
He'll get doomed, probably.
Yeah, they're gonna throw the Doom on a Monet, but he's gonna run it back. As Pichu gets in their faces and then refreshed, so beyond. Now with another Doom available, hits the arrow on a Bobaka. These creeps are pushing in. You need to be careful about your base.
Big team fight. No one died. It was Reincarnation plus Aegis, but they showed that once they break Anti-Mage with that Silver Edge, he dies so quickly. First, second usage of the BKB on AM. Does Keeper of the Light have Shard? He does not. Maybe eventually he's gonna need to get it just to be able to recall people, set things up on the side lanes, be more annoying with Anti-Mage. Doom, he gets like boost of travel too. They set things up. First you want to build that Hex, which is understandable. You want to have a bit more control. Those Lincoln Spheres also inside of Aster. You mentioned one on XWY. Still far away from it.
Nobody this one at all, actually. Trying to go to the Lotus Orb on Clockwork, so he'll try to help out as well.
Pichu doesn't get farm priority, but it's going to take a lot of time for good fights for him to be able to buy it. But he still wants to have a buyback available for the next fight. Next Roche, maybe port 1 in 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Right now, YBB stuck in their own base.
Yeah. You saw they progress, though. They need to start worrying about their base. As the creep push in. They do need the Silver Edge from XXS to get the break on the anti-mage. However, if these creeps start to get in the base and XXS TPs down into your base, you might be in some trouble.
You have 2 seconds downtime on Spirit form with full CDR.
So, pretty much up always. If he had gotten the Spell Prism, it would have been always up, right?
Yes.
Math-wise.
Well, you know, that's just a guess. I didn't really do the math in between.
Show your work.
Add 2 extra % from Spell Prism compared to Quick Cutting Charm.
You're gonna have to show us your work, otherwise you don't get full credit for the answer.
Ooh. Smoke and Moonlight Shadow. Double damage. Yeah, they definitely want to take the fight right now.
Oh boy. Look front shows that he can see him and Blink Fragment, and then the Breakwood damage and the Wrath of Nature.
Wrath of Nature, I think, hit all 5 heroes. Kept them in place. They did not want to commit with the BKBs. Double damage was not dispelled by Enchantress. Blink Fragments making too much confusion for Boboka.
Just a moment there that's just a Blink Fragment in time. And almost going for the Ags on Disruptor. Or almost having the Ags on Disruptor. 1,500 gold. We'll see where he gets it.
Swap things around. He was trying to get the Glimmer Cape for a very long time. Understands that Glimmer Cape is not what's going to bring you like extra lockdown. No BKBs, shooting items. It's just too powerful of an upgrade. So needs to find some farm somewhere. A bit of a difficult task as a Disruptor. And at this stage of the game as well.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for him he didn't get the Philly Stone, because we said that he's going to need like 20 minutes to get the Ags. He ultimately ends up needing more. But if he had the Philly Stone, like, probably has this item.
Yeah, it would definitely be Ags already. You could, like, if you're lacking farm, you can sell your magic wand, sell your cloak. It's extra gold. Push you forward, because cloak magic wand's not gonna save you. It's not gonna change how the fight's gonna go. This casual cloak gives you extra 15 magic resistance, but if you get jumped, if you get hit by any of the spells, pretty much you're dead as a Disruptor.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like entirely necessary that ZZQ gets this Ags, but you can push it. I feel like Lou's just in such a good spot. Static Storms, as long as they're down. Enough.
Boboka, his MKB is very close. Needs another 200 gold to finish it. Shot misses.
Will-O-Wisp. And the kinetic Blink Fragment goes into the jetpack again, gets pulled in by the Will-O-Wisp once more, and now a third time. He's jumping in. He needs to be careful. The Will-O-Wisp has another charge on him. The BKB pops. It's Menlo Day, but he's on the Sprout. Ooh, the backlines goes into the Mana Void, and XXS is going to die here with Pichu. They've lost 2-0. They don't have buyback on XXS. That's massive. You're going to look over at WY, and they will find themselves damage on Monet, and he doesn't have buyback either. What are they doing?
I think that's game.
My God, YBB have team wipes.
They don't have...
Nobody on Aster has buyback.
No buyback. He's also buying into AC, so that's to be extra attack speed, extra minus armor. They could poke it. They could see what happens. If they're not buying back, they could go for tier 4 towers to just end the game. Anti-mage, what was that? 10,000 damage more time coming out from Lou. Also, I thought that Beyond did not want to take a risk, so he dooms breaking while still has ulti available, refreshes, and holds it for another one.
Oh,
Pichu, he's trying to split push. I don't think this is going to work out.
Yeah, this is a last ditch stormcrafting and trying to run. They now have a sentry down. They are taking some of the tension away, and they have backed off from the base.
Wait, what are they doing? Are they not finishing the game? 30 seconds, they can take mega creeps. Instead, they decide to go for Roche. I still feel that they could have taken the barracks and went for Roche, but seems like YBB wants to play it super safe. Another Aegis, another Cheese, another Aghanim Scepter upgrade.
I just don't think they believe that
They don't have
will
buyback,
have
yeah.
buyback. This is the top team Aster. They lead the DPC. They would definitely hold buyback, right?
No, that's what the case here is. Doom picks up that Ag, so AoE Doom will be available.
So double Ag's upgrade, because as Beyond gets one from Roche, Disruptor finishes his with a purchase.
Now you have two big upgrades. Suddenly 30,000 network lead for YBB.
Wing Fragment, Hex, Blue. He is all alone.
Can they land another stun? There is no clockwork. Maybe stun connects at the same time. Never mind.
BKB, the Willis is going to be down. Blue's going to go for Boba Gun, throws the Abyssal Blade, has the refresher, and with the Doom on Beyond on himself, they'll get the kill on the Enchantress. Blazier's not going to do anything. They've got the Mana Void again. They take out XWY. Monet and XXS to hold.
I feel like Monet's damage in the last 15 minutes has been sub 5k. Like, he just was not able to walk onto a target to do anything. These blinding lights are causing a lot of issues as well. These are blinding lights with lower cooldown. Now Doom does have refresher available in 5 seconds. He's going for XXS.
Yeah.
Dire's bottom tower is about to fly.
I don't think XXS has the damage to deal with Beyond by himself.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Bottom there with the tier 3 XWY. He is still dead for 45 seconds. This is Mega Creeps at least. Success. Break. BKB. Right clicks. He's doing some damage, but he doesn't have the vision. Now forced to TP out and just gets away. But it is Mega Creeps here for YBB.
Aster could have finished off the game quick enough. Anti-Mage came online. Now it's all suffering and pain. The only thing you can do is pretty much watch him. With the 4 staffs, they have one fight. This is it. They have one try.
Step 1, lay on the ground. Step 2, cry the ball. Step 3, cry.
AM's in. That's the fake one with the Blink Fragment. They do have counterspell as well.
But they do have 5 heroes. There are 2 cheeses. They've got choices from Gouda to Swiss. IBB. That's the Gouda, that's the Swiss. And 32,000 net worth lead.
It's not looking good for Team Aster at the moment. No buybacks. Monet does not have one. He invested everything in this overwhelming blink. Blink fragments, upgrade from Anti-Mage, been causing a lot of issues, making confusion. Using counterspell as well, can't even kill it.
Everybody on IBB held buyback, and nobody from Aster has had the gold for buyback in like the last 10 minutes.
Interesting that Anti-Mage doesn't have Aghanim Shard upgrade. It's a good one. It's like if you're close to someone, it also reduces their spell damage by 30%. This is something that destroys Leshrac. Like, the spell damage reduction is 10%, so does have enough gold for buyback and shard, but right now looking to buy pressure, wants to have that double BKB.
Remember when the odds for Aster were 1.02?
Yeah. Didn't seem so long ago. This is 35 minutes we're talking about.
Oh, hookshot misses. Doom on himself with the BKB. He's got the new on above They're going to go after Monet. They'll take out his mana and they'll take out his life. Static Sword placed on top of that with the axe upgrade. They get a second kill here on the Skeleton King. And they will not have Monet. It looks like they won't have Monet either. But with the Nature's Attendants, still can't survive. Beyond gets the kill. Woo with the Abyssal, but they've got the arrow. And they'll call GG after a blunder. As YBB take game 1.
And what a performance. They lost laning stage so hard. They were almost 10k gold lead down. Few set of barracks. And Aster was unable to. And Breaking just disappeared.
still think that it could have been fixed up. Is there anything you start around that you want them to adjust going into game number 2?
I want them to be wary of the mid matchup because the Coddle pick looked really good for the game, and I think Scoop pick is what allows YBB to have the draft to win, right? But whilst it was a great game for the Coddle in general, his lane wasn't good. He felt unfamiliar on the hero. Like when he pushed the wave in mid under the tower as you do on Coddle, he suddenly started to like lose the lane. Like he's doing low ground from the river, he's getting his creep denied out by the track. I think that's also 2 points to not last hitting the creeps. He's like just coming down to like 10% health. He's running all the way back to his tier 2 mid just to block the wave, just to try and reset it because he's like losing.
5 seconds
Right, so
remaining.
I think if he's not with the matchups, there's like a real chance
get a
if
bag.
Aster fix their drafts up or fix their problems in general, then they can take a crushing mid like that and really run away with it much harder.
We'll be finding out whether or not they have what it takes to turn this into a winning matchup, because we do have the second draft available. This is actually very interesting for me here, Cinderin, because YBB, they find themselves in a position of having the first pick, but the Broodmother's banned against
5
them, and
seconds
beyond
remaining.
Broodmother, it's not one of their signature heroes, not one of their key things that they play, so I feel like this actually might be a free ban for them. They're getting a little bit more space in the draft right now because of Team Aster still banning absolutely meta, even though they're going up against a YBB that doesn't always play super meta.
I think Aster are just thinking we don't want to take the risk. They might think Brood is the single most obnoxious hero in Dota, and they would be right. So
Yes,
you know,
sir.
good read there. Yeah, there's just, I think if you're confident in your, that completely throws us off our game. You just get rid of it, even if it's not a primary
Seconds
the enemy
remaining.
team, unless you're like certain that they will not. The engine was what I was expecting, to be honest, so that's not too surprising. But this obviously YBB get their hands on the contested Beastmaster. Now you've got to take your pick, taking the Nature's Prophet again, and what are you going to replace your Ench with? This is... Can't be too surprised, surely. that
Take
this
a
was how it
Disruptor
went.
+1, that's what I'm
Disruptor, Nature's
You've been hot on the Disruptor, but Boca hasn't played it. So only played Tiny and Edge. Literally nothing else. So
Yeah, but Pichu's played it. So
yeah.
they can. I prefer it on 4, but I'm fine on 5. Like the hero is just strong in general. Between like glimpse and just playing on like play on side lanes with calls. Like I've really enjoyed seeing Disruptor Storm Spirit, for example. If they want to do that, would be very potent. Not Storm Layer down the line. End of second pick. End of second phase they could pick it.
we go IO Lash.
Oh god, what is
Alright, so we very rarely get to see IO in general within the Chinese region. Lectrap, of course, has become one of the staple heroes from the mid lane. XWY is very good at this. I do prefer his Tiny, to be honest, but his Lash is still pretty good. With the IO, though, I'm
Here's the
about
Radiant bag.
IO in China. I feel like the Chinese teams don't always play this hero. It doesn't seem broken in the region. It just seems, alright, pretty good. And in this game, how do you feel about it, Jason? When you see it opening here like YB, it's unlikely they would have banned the IO second phase. And do you like the response of going back for the Coddle into the IO Lash?
Yeah, I think Coddle is a pretty interesting choice against this pairing that we haven't really seen tried out much in. I would say it's IO Lesh. There's like 2 teams that really stand out with it, right? One is Gaming Gladiators in the EU region, and then in the NA region you have yes, TSM. Wow, that was
5 seconds remaining.
so
Radiant bag.
with Brawl, right? So I think Coddle in theory could be good against this, especially the way YBB play it with rushing the Ags. That's really nice against certain IO pairings. As for why the Chinese region isn't as strong with this, that's a really good question. When I think Chinese IO, I think IO Gyro. That's like always going to be the pairing. They were really good with IO. I think they had a very good understanding of how to play the
5
hero very
seconds
greedily with
remaining.
farm, but when it comes to like pacing and early pressure, they never excel to the same regions. And that's what you want to do with IO Lesh. Like that's a little bit of a mix. You want to farm, but you take the fight. So let's see if Aster have learned something from primarily watching, I would guess, Gaming Glide.
Do you think they want to go like a well-rounded draft, just pile on like heal, push, get an Undying in there, soul
Witch
rip,
Doctor.
boys. Witch Doctor, God no.
Oh,
No, I don't want.
Didn't you see the NA game?
I did see it. Yes, I don't want it.
Awesome. And it was the same opener.
I
That's what
don't
happened
want
here.
it. No.
Did Gaming Gladiators, because Gaming Gladiators played an IO Witch Doctor lane once, did they also have Lesh in that strategy or no?
I'm not sure if they had
I
it.
think they didn't, but they've played IO
think
Witch
it was
Doctor
Battle
together
Element.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Seen a lot of IO Witch Doctor, and I watched it lose one game. No, I think I watched it win that game, but I watched it struggle early because like there was you can
10
pressure it and
seconds
it does just
left by
become
my
sort of like. And then they were playing way more around like just hardcore heals for like an actual core. So I guess it's like okay.
So Dendi almost beat Rebellion with the IO Witch Doctor. He was playing the Witch Doctor from the mid lane, so
Yes.
that is a little bit different.
Or-
That was
that too.
a lot bit different, yes.
Yes. Just a bit.
So I don't know if
10
Aster
seconds.
going and tying is the right approach. So I think if you pile it onto the healing, you just make
5
Coddle
seconds.
XWI's hero pool out of the mid lane, if this Lesh, if we're like locking it in on him, which might be a mistake, it could be a 3, right, the Lesh. But if you're assuming that mid, that means you're not facing Void Sphere, you're not facing Storm Sphere that XWI usually brings to the table to just burst a Coddle out of the game.
10 seconds.
But I actually think from Aster that could be a pretty clever way of solving this, to be honest. Put the Lesh off and get an assassin that just wins the game. And
Could be the
like
tiny,
that.
man.
It could be the tiny, yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen XXX. For Boka, as mentioned, he only played Tiny and the Enchanter, so it's very unlikely that it's not him, even though I do agree that I think XWI now is Tiny, so if they did that, I'd be ecstatic. Unfortunately though, Sheep, the one thing that we've seen from Team Aster is regimented Dota for the most part, right? So they haven't tried anything crazy, they haven't done anything nuts. It's been day in, day out, the same stuff, except today. First lost on Dire, and the first time XXX's hero doesn't come in the first phase. It's going to be coming later on in the draw. They prioritize getting this iron left. I'm fine with the Tiny, but that does mean that IBB have been able to shut down XXX a bit more in the banning phase. His Beastmaster is taken right by them, his Enigma's now gone, they ban out the Broodmother, so I have to have something different coming in from
What do
him.
you mean different? Nature's Prophet
It
still
can't-
in the pool.
Another one.
Is this Aster's first IO this tournament?
Yeah.
I think it is, right? So
5 seconds remaining.
like this hero is so fundamentally different from everything they play that I feel like from my perspective this is a complete switch up, even though it's changed one hero. Just because again, for a team that's played like a script